decks the other.
Funny enough, Bach actually mentioned about that.
Oh no.
There was some comment some fan made like, um, Jericho could take you out or something like that, and Bach just retweeted something to the effect of like, well, yeah, he's gonna have to reach up pretty high to do that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so definitely got him on the height issue.
Jesus.
Um,
He's being a little petty though, like Bach is, I guess.
I don't know, man, because like who was it? Rich Ward actually, the guitar player for Fozzy, actually kind of weighed in on it too. Um, essentially saying that I can't believe that Sebastian Bach is doing shit like this. When Jericho's the only one that defends him. Like there's so many people in this industry that just shit all over Bach, and Jericho's like one of the only ones that defends him. Blah blah blah. And
Hmm.
like pretty much right after that, like Rich Ward blocked Sebastian Bach, and Bach tweeted a photo about that and just going like, well, okay, how am I sad for doing this? Like, please tell me. Like almost essentially saying like, look, let's have a discussion about this. Like, how am I being sad about this?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like looking up this article, man, there's actually another like rock feud that's going on with another band that we that at least I like. I'm not sure if you were a fan of them, but
Oh gosh, who is it?
so it's a rivalry going between Edsel Dope from the band Dope and Tripp Eisen, who was in Dope at one time and then was a guitar player for Static X, and then got fired years ago. Um,
Okay, and isn't word around the campfire that Edsel Dope is that Zero character that is now fronting Static X, or didn't he come out and just flat out say it?
that's rumor and innuendo. He hasn't come out and said that he is, but it's pretty much just taken like it's him.
Yeah.
Like fans are just pretty much going like, yeah, it's him.
I mean, who else would it be?
Fair enough, but I mean, you never know. It could be like just an unknown like metal singer.
It could be, yeah. It sounds an awful lot like him though. Like I watched a clip of him doing um, Push It,
Yeah,
and when he was talking and shit like that, I was like, that's fucking Edsel.
yeah,
Because I mean, we've seen Dope live a couple times, and he has a very, very distinctive voice. Like you listen to that on the records or you hear it live or whatever, it's like that's Edsel. Like some people just their voice,
yeah.
and
Um, so apparently this all started. Let me see. I'm just bringing up the article here. It's on Blabbermouth. um, so Static X claimed in one of the releases that one of its producers uncovered several additional unreleased and unfinished tracks, many of which contained isolated vocal performances from Wayne Static. Because of this new find, Static X put this album out that features vocals by Wayne on virtually every song. So on Monday, saying July 13th, Eisen, whose real name Todd Rex Salvador, saying released a statement disputing Static X's explanation for where some of the previous unreleased tracks came from. He's saying, let's see, where is it? Okay, so it's saying that they're completely Wayne Static and his material. None of the current members had anything to do with their creation. Tripp
mm,
also took credit for getting Edsel involved with Static X comeback after Edson and Campos supposedly reconnected and reestablished their friendship in late 2016. This is just going by the fucking article here.
mm.
Um, so gives a little background of Eisen served time more than a decade ago for meeting and sexually assaulting two underage females in January and February 2005.
Whoa.
Um, so that's why he was essentially let go from Static X. Um,
He fucking deserved it.
yeah. So let's see. His statement goes on to say his past legal troubles were addressed early on, and Tony Campos had Tripp's back, knowing the details of his case and the exaggerations in the press, and judged his friend fairly without any prejudice. He also claimed that Edsel shared Tony's sentiment about Tripp and knew his good character. So this was an article that was released on July 14th. It says earlier today, Dope released the following statement via Dope Facebook page. And I'm gonna. Should I read this whole thing? Because I mean, this just holy
Go
shit.
for it. Go for it.
This is like a Triple H burial job.
But see, I'll just say really quick, this doesn't surprise me, these two fighting, because they're former bandmates, but with Jericho and Bach fighting, like Jericho looks up to Bach. Like that was one of his idols. So for them to be fighting is sort of
I
like
don't. I don't know if it was an idol, but they were at least like friends.
Yeah. So that's surprising. Whereas, I mean, bandmates you think are friends, but not necessarily always the case. Sometimes they're just bandmates.
No. Um, okay, so where was this? Here it is. So earlier today, Dope released the following statement via the Dope Facebook page. It says, quote, "Fuck you, you two-time convicted sex offender piece of shit." We're off to a great start here, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, it keeps going. "Keep my name out of your talentless mouth. I fired you 20 years ago because you're an egotistical, low-talent idiot, and Static X fired you more than 15 years ago because you're a 40-year-old creep who was arrested for having sexual relations with multiple 14-year-old fangirls. Deplorable." It keeps going. I'm like, this has gone past like a Triple H burial job. This is like Triple H burial job, and then he just lights the fucking casket on fire and pisses all over it.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm gonna drink here. So,
Drink up, sir.
all right, hang on a sec.
I'm actually out of water myself, I think. No, just about though. This segment of Let Us Cast brought to you by drinking.
Put some water in your mouth. It'll do you good. Okay, so next paragraph.
Put it in your mouth and gulp it.
Phrasing. Seriously, phrasing. It's like, quote, "You have not progressed in the least bit, not even after spending 2 separate stints in jail. You're an antagonist who paints himself as a victim. Boo-hoo and fuck you. Meanwhile, you've never even apologized to our metal community for betraying all of our trust by preying on young, impressionable fangirls for your own selfish perversions. And now you're trying to attach your name to an incredibly well-orchestrated memorial/tribute that you had absolutely nothing to do with. Get the fuck out of here." Keeps going. "For your information, Wayne and I had a very pointed discussion about you while on tour together in 2014, so I know exactly how he felt about you. Wayne fucking hated you, and he had no interest in ever associating with you again. You've been begging people to pay attention to you and your new band for 3 years, attempting to tie yourself to virtually everything Static X or Dope does. #Dope, Static X, or the Murder Dolls in virtually every post. After all of that, you have managed to gather roughly 1,000 followers in total. LOL. It keeps going. Quote, "It's over, dummy. You will always have been known as the 40-year-old creepy guy with Lee press-on dreads who targeted underage fangirls for sex. This is not my opinion. This is a matter of fact, and it is public record. Charges were filed against you in 2 separate states for kidnapping, endangering the welfare of a child, aggravated sexual assault, and luring to entice a minor through the internet. You were also arrested and sentenced. Game over. I hope that ICP and all the juggalos across the world are reading this and remember who you are, what you did, and why you ended up crying on their sidelines. I am so down with..."
I don't understand that. What is he talking about, ICP?
I'm assuming he played guitar for them for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He's like, quote, "I am so down with the clowns, and I so hope the juggalos are listening. Edsel Dope. #14-year-olds, dude."
That's a great ending.
I'm like, holy shit, dude. And like in the post, like he put up a couple of memes and whatnot. One of them is actually the Jesus character from fucking The Big Lebowski with Tripp's head on it, just saying 14-year-olds, dude.
Can I just say how much I love Edsel Dope?
Oh my god, it's fucking great.
Can we just take a moment to just appreciate Edsel Dope?
Dude, he really is awesome.
He needs his own fucking holiday or something. Edsel Dope Day.
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to go the route of like him just like, you know, getting his own holiday. But Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, so you just shared the
yeah.
Oh man.
There's a picture of the guy Tripp. Jesus, man, these are brutal.
Oh man, I see what you mean. Like with Tripp's head on it, not just Jesus, but with 14-year-olds. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Like there's a picture of him
and
with
the ET.
Yeah, this Alien versus Predator. Holy shit!
Oh my god, these are fantastic.
Yeah, like holy shit, dude.
Yeah, you guys got to go on Blabbermouth and see this. This is
just
great.
Holy Christ.
Although I guess it's actually just on Dope's Twitter, is it? Or Facebook?
Facebook.
Yeah.
There's no way this would be able to get done in one tweet.
Oh yeah, well true. Yeah, that's a big fucking message.
Yeah, so
I really want to know what's up with the ICP shit though. That's got me curious. Not that I'm an ICP fan, because I'm most certainly not, but
no, but still
just curious.
That I don't know. I have no desire to look into anything ICP related or anything like that. But I don't know. Just honestly, man, it's just not my thing. You know, if you're a juggalo, you dig their music and whatnot. Hey, more power to you. But
yeah, Cool logo, I'll give you that.
Yeah, just it's not my thing.
Yeah, me neither. Cool logo, cool look, but
yeah.
That's about where it ends for me.
So apparently, where is this? Okay. So apparently, Tripp released a statement in response to that.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah.
Well, how could you not respond to that? I mean,
yeah,
that is literally like you said, lighting the coffin on fire and pissing on it.
Yeah, but I mean, anything from that would just be like essentially Tripp just going like, "I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I feel fine."
True.
So
He's kind of masochistic at this point.
Yeah. So, all right. So Tripp fires back. Quote: Edsel Dope couldn't refute anything I said, so he resorted to ad hominem attacks on me. It's actually below him. I know the real Edsel Dope, and he's not a bad person, and he knows me. That's why this is so egregious, because it's disingenuous. There we go.
He actually did refute shit that he said, though, because he said that Tripp had nothing to do with the tribute. So maybe Tripp didn't read the fucking whatever.
So, saying, quote, Edsel, you don't think that I'm deplorable. Yes, we had a feud in 2001, but reconciled in 2004 at Dimebag's funeral. That was emotional. Then we reconnected in 2008, and we were friends up through to last year. You said I haven't progressed, but you don't believe this because we've had many heart-to-heart talks. You said you admired my ability to stay positive in the face of bad circumstances, or even asking me for advice about this, and you told me how to personally progress over the years. We've talked about spirituality and the concept of love. Face it, we were bros. Jesus Christ, this thing goes on for a while here. All right. Quote, you know how sorry I am for what happened 15 years ago, and I've apologized to anyone I hurt, and that was personal, not public. I've apologized to Tony Campos, for example. You've apologized to me and those in the past that you've hurt or mistreated, too. Remember that? You gave your opinion on the events of my offenses from 15 years ago, and you cited details that were partial and inaccurate how things ended up. This is, quote, you know all of it. I took full responsibility and I admitted that I was wrong. I didn't target underage girls as I was unaware of the ages of the girls. Yeah. So that is why they were classified statutory offenses. This is not blaming the victim. I do not. I am at fault, and this is me taking full responsibility for the wrong thing I did in relation to the actual events. You know all of this because we discussed it in detail. I paid a price for it, and I accepted it and dealt with it like a man. One time you said to me that you can't imagine what I went through. So, yeah, like the full response, like there's an article on Blabbermouth here. You just look for Tripp Eisen, last name Eisen. Let's see.
That one doesn't really have a clear-cut winner in my mind, whereas for me, I think Bach sort of has the upper hand in the Jericho feud.
I think so, but I also think fucking Edsel kind of has the edge over Tripp, because it's just like, you know what, dude? Like, yeah, like, you fucked up, like, good for you, like, you know, saying, like, hey, I apologize, and this is my responsibility, I paid my price for it. But it's like, still, dude, like, 14-year-olds?
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
I mean, he says he didn't know their age, but like, 14, like,
yeah.
You don't know that they're too young when they're 14. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some really mature 14-year-olds out there, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems like a cop-out to me, is all I'm saying. That he didn't know. I mean, maybe he didn't, I guess. How are we to know? But I don't know. That sounds like a cop-out to me.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to read the rest of this response and whatnot, it would probably take me about 20 minutes to do it. But
oh, Jesus.
I'll read a couple like selections here, though.
Dude wrote a novella, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. He says, quote, you refer to ICP and Juggalos because there is someone that they are focusing on that wasn't held accountable. I was held accountable. I support the notion of accountability that they advocate, so I'm down with the clowns too. I advocate for responsibility for all artists and bands regarding this topic. Goes on to say, listen, I appreciate working with you in Dope and all that it did for my career. I helped you write one of Dope's most memorable songs, Die Motherfucker Die, and I found your most notable members, AC Slade, Virus, Preston Nash. We have a lot of good memories too. Also, remember you invited me to join Dope in 2012, 2013, and I have the letters you wrote back that regard this than regarding to